Hello everyone! Welcome to Presentation for Beginners module. I am teacher Sheila and I will be your tutor for part 1. Make sure that you watch part 2 with Madam Farhana and part 3 with Madam Nur Norafida to complete the module. What do you need to do if you are tasked with an oral presentation? Let's find out!
Presenting in front of a crowd can be scary, but fret not. There are few things you can do to help you plan and ace your presentation. Keep in mind that a good presentation is clearly organized and relevant to the audience. Before you decide on a topic, there are few things that you need to consider. Number 1, who will be your audience? Number 2, the setting of the presentation. The setting includes duration of the presentation venue, and if there will be any visual aids required. Then, determine the purpose of the presentation and decide on how you want to deliver your presentation. Okay, so let's talk about point number 1. Identify your audience. You need to plan your presentation to suit your audience. Take into consideration how familiar your audience are with the subject and why they have to listen to your presentation. You need to pick a topic that you think will be appealing to your audience. By knowing your audience, you get to decide on the tone and style of your presentation delivery. If your audience is your classmates, opt for short, simple sentences to express your ideas clearly. Now, imagine if, let's say, you want to deliver a speech to a group of lecturers, would the content and language be the same as a presentation intended for your classmates? Next, identify the setting of your presentation. Pay attention to these details to help you plan the content and the flow of your presentation. Time limits are set for a reason. Falling short or exceeding the allocated time might affect your score. Make sure to check if your presentation is to be conducted online or in class. Follow appropriate dress code to appear professional. A presentation doesn't necessarily need visual aid, but if you are planning to use any, check if the necessary equipment and assistance will be available for use. Remember to consider all these aspects before you start deciding on the topic and the flow of your presentation. Last but not least, you need to determine the purpose of your presentation. By considering your audience, setting, and purpose, you can now start to decide on a suitable topic and work your way through drafting the content. Decide if you want your presentation to be informative, persuasive, or demonstrative. Confused? Don't be. Now, let's go through each type of presentation together. Number 1, informative presentation. If you are planning to share, inform, explain, and or educate your audience, go for informative presentation. The informative presentation is suitable for longer presentations. For informative presentation, make sure that the points shared are clear and accurate. Hence, avoid using complex sentences during your presentation. It also helps your audience to follow your topic if you include your presentation outline in the introduction section. Do not forget to summarize your points and ideas at the end of presentation. No worries, lesson in part 2 and part 3 will help you on this. Here are some topics under informative presentation category. If you want to persuade your audience to try or to stop doing something, go for persuasive presentation. Usually employed by politicians, salespersons and activists, persuasive presentation and or speech aims to influence the decision of their audience. It could be done implicit or explicitly with positive or negative effect. The key to ace a persuasive presentation is by using a strong opening. You need to establish your character and credibility by stating your stand and argument confidently. But be careful. Whatever your stand is, back your points with solid argument and try not to be biased. When concluding your presentation, conclude by using the right call to action. You can encourage your audience either to go for adoptions, discontinuance, deterrence, or continuance of a habit or idea. And here are some topics for persuasive presentation for your reference. Last but not least, demonstrative type presentations. Demonstrative presentations are more practical and hands-on in nature. The easiest example of demonstrative presentation is when your lecturer is delivering his or her lecture in class. Demonstrative presentations focus on teaching the audience how to complete any specific task, reach a goal, and or how to execute a process. If you decide to do a demonstrative presentation, pick a topic that you are familiar about. This will help you to plan your content and will also help you to be comfortable during the presentation. Remember, when delivering your presentation, do not rush the process. And in order to keep and maintain the attention of your audience, avoid any distraction during the session. Avoid giving out any handout during your presentation. If you need to give out any notes or handouts, do it before the presentation or after you are done. And if you do need the help of volunteer during your presentation, make sure that you inform the audience on time. In short, to produce a good and impactful presentation starts from the very moment you receive the task. Before you decide on a topic and start drafting your presentation, spend some time to identify who your audience will be and find out about the setting of your presentation. And then decide what and how you want to present your topic. Thank you for your time and attention. We have now reached the end of part 1 of presentation guide for beginners. I truly hope that this video will help you in planning your presentation in the near future. Stay awesome and remember, luck comes from hard work. Bye!